Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we left off having just repaired a broken lamp on the West Celtic Highway. This is the map, on the West Celtic Highway over here. And now we're going to head toward the East Celtic Highway, because we do have to beat up a monster there, I think. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. East Celtic Highway monster from Zyro. Could someone please help us? Of course I can help you. I mean, I really don't have anything else to do right now, do I? I do not. It was a joke. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, detection is nice. Detection gives me access to all these beautiful looking treasure chests, but I just remembered we do have something else to do because...
Here we go!
Yeah, for once that. And we've got a book to read through. Red Moon Rose Chapter 2. We are going to read through this right now. Chapter 2, Vampire Hunter. As the world blurred, he caught a fleeting glimpse of a geometric shape pass before his eyes. It was the sole of a boot, moving at incredible speed. With a bone-crushing thud, the woman was thrown aside and Alphonse's field of vision filled with the night sky. Free from the woman's grasping fingers, he coughed furiously, sucking in as much fresh air as his tortured throat could manage. "Are you alright?" asked the clear voice beside him. The source of it was a second woman, who he was certain had not been there moments ago. She wore a navy blue overcoat paired with a matching navy blue beret. Her ash blonde hair reached as far as her neck, and her features were dignified, though they still retained clear vestiges of childlike innocence. At a guess, she seemed to be roughly the same age as Alphonse himself. Still busy processing the recent events, Alphonse made no reply to her query. The woman watched him for some time before coolly stating, "You appear to be mostly uninjured, at least. I'm glad to have arrived in time." Seemingly satisfied he would survive, she turned away and studied the crumpled form of the woman who had attacked him. "That," she said with a note of distaste, "is a ghoul. A thing a person becomes after their blood has been drained by a vampire." As she spoke, she kicked her left boot against the ground. The tap, tap, tap seemed to punctuate each word. It appeared to be the boot that she had used to kick the woman, ghoul, away from him. As he followed the restless drumming of her boot, he suddenly thought, "Vampire? I have no issue with you idling about, but I would prefer it if you stood aside before doing so. You are in my way." Her words were sharp, but no sooner had she said them than a creaking sound filled the area. The ghoul, which had been motionless on the ground while they were talking, was slowly rising, its contorted body lifting from the cobblestones using only the power of its legs. It was a grotesque spectacle and utterly unnatural, and if the ghoul was bothered by the earlier blow, it showed no sign. Without warning, the ghoul suddenly kicked at the ground like a wild beast and propelled itself towards them. Alphonse jerked to his feet and leaped forward to shield the blonde woman. The exact moment that the ghoul's nails reached Alphonse, the blonde woman behind him calmly put her hand in her overcoat pocket. In one smooth motion, she drew something out of it. It was a long, thin rapier. Its surface was a radiant silver, polished to a mirror-like shine, a mirror-like shine that reflected the smoldering glow of the red moon. Without a moment's hesitation, she thrust the rapier forward. Its pointed end flew past his neck, piercing the ghoul's throat effortlessly. With an equally smooth motion, she withdrew the blade. The ghoul fell to the ground and didn't move again. The menacing aura it had been radiating dissipated into nothing. Alphonse stood fixed to his spot, dumbfounded by what he had just witnessed. A small trickle of blood ran down his neck where the rapier had grazed it. I do believe that I told you to stand aside. I suppose you must not have heard me." Sighing, she took the ghoul's blood from her weapon before returning it to its scabbard. "After all, if you had heard me and acted that way regardless, I would have been forced to conclude that you're most foolish indeed." Her blunt words and composed expression finally brought Alphonse back to his senses. I was just trying to keep you from getting hurt, but never mind that. What's going on here anyway? Who are you? And why was that woman trying to..." He had intended to finish his sentence with the words "eat me," but the possibility that it may have happened was too terrifying to voice. What was clear to him was that the woman before him had saved his life, and stabbed the ghoul to do so. Looking at Alphonse's confused expression as he wrestled with the situation, she gave a resigned sigh. You appear to be a member of the military. I presume then you are familiar with the so-called vampire murders? Yeah, of course. Well, then, if I were to tell you that those vampire murders really are the work of a vampire, would you believe me? Alphonse gaped at her. What? Without answering, she turned away from him and walked over to the ghoul. Gently, she lifted it from the ground so Alphonse could take a good look at the face. What had been a terrifying creature just moments ago was now a woman again. Her expression was completely peaceful. It was hard to believe she was the same woman who had attacked them earlier. Look closely here, the blonde woman instructed. She pointed at the corpse's neck, specifically at 2 red dots on its surface. They were completely consistent with the marks on all the other victims of the vampire murders. It certainly looks like a vampire bite, wouldn't you say? She said this as if it was just common sense, since it was the common sense thing in the world. The most common sense thing in the world. Alphonse still looked puzzled, but she ignored him and continued. Humans who die as a result of having their blood sucked by a vampire become ghouls, who then try to feast on other humans. This sword, she said, tapping the scabbard, has been blessed by the church and is capable of putting them to rest. Her words brought the bizarre spectacle he had just witnessed back to the front of his mind. While he was interested in the church part of her statement, he had more pressing questions to ask. You're seriously saying that this was the work of a vampire? You really expect me to believe something so ridiculous? Whether you choose to believe it or not, it is the truth. A very unfortunate truth, but the truth nonetheless, she said in the same cool, disinterested voice. Alphonse struggled with it. The truth, as she presented it, beggared belief. And yet, everything she said added up and seemed consistent. It was equally hard to believe that everything was a lie. He subconsciously touched his throat. The ache there only bolstered her position. He found himself willing to believe her. There is a vampire in this city, or that there is a vampire in this city. Of that I am certain. And I, she continued, placing a hand on her chest, am here to put an end to it. A period of silence followed. Undeterred, the woman began to talk again. Still, this is not an ordinary matter that laymen should be involved with, so I would recommend that you forget all that you've just seen and heard here. And I would prefer, she added, with a meaningful glance, if you kept all this to yourself as well. She turned to walk away. Wait! Alphonse called out to her. She swallowed, stood a little straighter. Will you? He swallowed, stood a little straighter. Will you allow me to help you? The blonde woman came to an abrupt halt. She turned her head to look at him. It was clear that his sudden question had caught her off guard. Slowly she faced him completely. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting you to propose something quite that ludicrous. What could I possibly stand to gain by allowing you to help me? Her tone was as sharp as ever, but Alphonse was unfazed. Around 10 years ago, both of my parents were killed. They died the exact same way as the victims of the vampire murders. Shock showed through the woman's normally blank expression. Alphonse continued. I don't remember much about that day, but there's one thing that I can't forget, one thing I'll never be able to forget. As he spoke, the memory returned vividly to him. Roughly 10 years ago, Alphonse and his family had lived in a village in a remote region of the Empire. His father was a member of the army, serving in a unit stationed nearby, but it was an uneventful post, and they lived a quiet life. It was as normal and peaceful in existence as one could have until that fateful day when Alphonse returned from playing outside. It was then that he saw a sight that would be burned into his memories, his dreams, forever. There, in his home, he found the corpses of his parents laying in a room stained with blood. The bodies had been drained, the necks were marked by strange bites. The incident was so unpleasant and bizarre that even then there were those who believed that it was the work of a vampire. The army conducted an investigation but were unable to find any clues that would lead them to a suspect, and eventually the case was deemed unsolvable. Left with no living family, Alphonse was taken in by his father as his best friend and fellow soldier in the army, Gerard, and ended up living in Heimdallr. If what she was saying was true, and vampires really did exist, then maybe one was actually responsible for his parents' deaths. From the look on her face, it seemed she too thought that could be the case. Alphonse shook his head, though it was more for himself. It doesn't really matter if it is the work of a vampire or not. I feel as though by solving this case, I'll finally be able to move on from what happened that day. That's why... Another long silence fell between them. The blonde woman seemed to be deep in thought, and Alphonse waited patiently for her reply. Eventually, she let out a short sigh. As part of the army, you have access to restricted information on the murders. Perhaps your assistance might allow me to find the vampire more quickly. She put her hand inside her coat and took out a short sword with the same silvery glow as the rapier she had used earlier. This will allow you to fight against ghouls and vampires. If you'll be cooperating with me, I expect you to protect yourself. Alphonse glanced at her face. Her expression clearly said that she wouldn't brook any nonsense. His resolve would need to be firm and unwavering, and he would need to be prepared to encounter more ghouls like the one from before. Furthermore, he would have to be ready to face the vampire that lurked in the city once and for all. With a resolute air, he accepted the sword from her. My name's Alphonse, but everyone just calls me Al. The blonde woman looked down at her, now empty hand, and the corners of her lips quirked up slightly. She raised the edges of the skirt underneath her coat, and gave him a respectful courtesy. My name is Rose. I imagine that our time together will be brief, but I look forward to working with you nonetheless. Red Moon Rose. Alright. Okay, that was nice.
It's my turn.
That was nice. I do enjoy that story a lot.
Fire!
This would be a really tranquil area, if not for the monsters.
Fire!
Yeah, let's be careful.
Softening ointment.
My turn!
Okay, let's be a little careful.
Here we go.
You look like a kangaroo, sir. Hey, kangaroos don't do that. Kangaroo man? Nice.
Now's our chance. Let's get him. My turn.
I'm gonna be able to hit like 3 guys with Laura there.
I can do this.
I hope so.
Turn to flames. Burn! Now!
Awesome.
Right!
You did the first turn, huh? Well, let us do a blue lullaby. Hit everybody.
Good night!
Right.
So much sleepiness. Look at these guys. They're all asleep. I'm gonna wake up in a second, but not for long. Come on.
Evil will fall before my blade.
Yeah, I mean, I bet. Very nice. Stimulant. I mean, I don't know if they are evil, but they sure didn't see that one coming. I would enjoy if you attack. No, come on, Dragonfly. Don't be like that.
Now's our chance. Let's get him.
Triple A advantage.
My turn.
I do an autumn leaf cutter like this.
There.
Are you kidding? Oh,
Now's our chance.
that was unfortunate.
I've got
I
you.
swear I had the bug in there.
I can do this.
Well, you can, hopefully.
Turn to flames. Burn! Now!
Got it.
It's not enough damage.
Right!
It's not. I don't want to do that. You have 340 arts. I can do needle shot all day, every day.
Activate.
All
My
day,
turn.
every day. I would like to have an ass breaker ready, so let's do that as much as possible.
Here we go.
Nice. Should be able to take care of both of these guys, but that one is not gonna get to be an overkill. Whereas if I do all this with Laura, it will end up being a double kill and an overkill.
There. Go.
I've got you!
No double team?
Right.
I don't know why there's sometimes why the double team sometimes doesn't happen. I don't know it yet.
Right!
What do you mean double kill?
I can do this. Fire! Is everyone okay?
Okay. Oh well. That was not particularly great, but that should have been better. Hearty powder is nice. Heyo. Ground bait. Ooh, that refreshes a fishing spot. Very nice. Although I'd rather find it in one of these boxes, and not in one of those chests. Although since I found it in one of those chests, I'll probably be able to buy it from Mikt. I don't think that's exactly how it works. I think if I hadn't gotten the Red Moon Rose chapter from him, from the woman at the market, I would have been able to get to buy that at Mikt's store. But for this, I don't think that's
My
exactly the same way.
Here we go.
You have too sharp a nose, sir. Oh.
Now's our chance. We can do this.
We're on lightning.
Here we go.
You were lightning struck. What are you weak against again? Bashing. Yeah, that's no one has bashing. None of my characters have bashing. That's a thing. There's so many Zephyr rounds coming up too.
There.
I'm still wondering if that Scepter Master Quartz that allows for you to have a Zephyr drop every time, if that would actually be something that's worthwhile. I highly doubt it, honestly, but it would be interesting to know.
Arcus activate.
Definitely, I really should try it out. Honestly, 1 or 2,000 Mira after all. In the end, I'm gonna be. Hey!
My turn.
Hey! Ow! Jesus, dude, what kind of range is that? You hit him from 5 arm lengths away. And you don't even have arms. You have like little tiny paws that are actually quite cute. If it weren't for those giant claws on them. But still, that was unfair, sir. Jesus. I hate what you just did.
Go. We'll cut our own path.
Through wolves, though? I mean, I guess. Red beast flesh. Unfortunately, my Zephyr gain is still not particularly much to my liking. It's still not even.
Is that a treasure chest?
Well, it's actually a cute crop muncher, if you saw it correctly. Look at him. Isn't he cute? He doesn't have any arms, though. He is blind as well.
The advantage is ours.
Here we go.
Autumn leaf cutter against. Oh.
There.
None of these are all that dangerous to fight.
My turn.
You have a Zephyr round again. Really have no reason to not have Zephyr drop from everybody.
It's my turn.
And please don't miss too much. You have TloH. You have revival arts. Completely forgot about that part. I'm not using heat wave here though. Let's just use a normal attack on this one. Wake him up.
Go.
Got it.
Okay, yeah, exactly what I was going for. Exactly. Okay, maybe not exactly, but still. Laura,
Here we
you go crazy. You go way too crazy.
I can do this. Fire! Now!
Got it.
Right. Ha! You still have a lot of training to do.
No, he doesn't. You just cut him to pieces. I feel like I've said that in the past. More red beast flesh. I'm getting too little Mirage Zephyr.
Oh, a treasure chest.
Dude, it was there all along. Proxy puppet. I had like 5 of those or more when I ended up beating Trails in the Sky the Third. Proxy puppets allow you to get resist KO status once. And after that it breaks. And yeah, I usually just don't use that. Drop launcher.
Now's our chance.
Didn't you hear that? It's our chance. It is in fact our chance.
It's my turn.
What do you mean that didn't unbalance? This is not. Ah, I knew there was a pixel.
Good night.
Right.
Why does that skill not unbalance? I don't understand. Okay, you were able to do Earth Key Lever here, or no? That did... That...
My turn.
Oh my god! Crits! Left and right and everywhere! You did that to yourself.
Turn to flames.
You did that to yourself. Don't hit Rean, please.
Burn. Now.
Nice.
Nicely done, Elisa.
Same to you. That was great.
You guys are too friendly. I don't know who these people are. Why does Rean have more experience than Elliot? Did Elliot get downed once when I... Or did Rean get experience somewhere else? Unfortunate that I only just noticed. Wow, these guys give good Mirage. It actually had 10 Mirage in it, that fight. TR Bomb. This must be the farm that put out the monster examination request. Should we go inside and ask for more details? Yeah, we might as well. Certainly better than just wandering about blindly till we find the thing. Agreed, we're here, so now is as good a time as any to introduce ourselves and ingratiate ourselves to locals, I guess? Ingratiate, huh?
Wow, this farmhouse is huge.
Oh, look at the cows.
Yeah, look at the cows. They're back there. Look, cows. Nice. Coco! Oh, the cows stink! Harvesting the crops is exhausting. Farm work is just the worst. Why did I have to be born into a family like this? Farm work is just the worst. Tarim. What brings you here? If you're looking for my granddad, he's inside. What brings you here? If you're looking for my granddad, he's inside. If you do farm work, why are you wearing like a vest? I don't understand why you're wearing those why you're wearing those clothes. I mean, you look stylish, but that's not particularly fit for the work you do, right? I wouldn't be able to carry stuff like that. Do you drop eggs? Didn't mean to do it that way. You don't drop an egg. I know these are actually cocks. They're not ever gonna drop eggs in real life because they can't. They're male. But still, you know, you might get lucky, right? Rit. There's a really scary monster that shows up near the highway. I can't hear it in the middle of the... I can hear it in the middle of the night too. Now I'm too scared to sleep by myself at night. A really scary monster. Can't sleep at night. Teisel. The fruit we produce is both deliciously fresh and healthy. You can even make whole juice out of it, and it'll still be just as good for you. Here, have this recipe on how to do it. Whole juice. Nice. Tarim happens to be my nephew. He always comes along during the harvesting period every year to help out. He really is a hard worker. Coco gets right to work whenever he's here too. It really is a big help when he comes along. Recipe. Look at you. Starberry. Honey syrup. I've got a lot of those by now. Clear gelatin is a monster drop as well. Starberry, I think, is a monster drop as well, though. Coarse rock salt, fresh egg. I was told that cooking these is extremely worthwhile because fresh eggs are cheap, coarse rock salt is cheap, and if you cook them with Elliot, you get a lot of, like, you can just make unlimited Mira out of this. But since I was told and I didn't find out myself, I'll never be able to put that to good use because I'll feel like, you know, someone who abuses game mechanics, and I don't want to do that if I'm not the one who thinks of them. But let's cook one of these with, of course, with Eliza.
Alright, let's get started. What is this?
Eliza? Restores 100 EP? Holy smokes! That's actually not that good. That's also 100 EP. Never mind then. Never mind. That was a complete waste. But hey, we got that. It's nice. Thank you for the recipe. Hello, would you happen to be Zyro? We're here to take care of the monster that's causing issues here. As such, we'd like some further details on it.
Oh, you are? I'm the man you're looking for, then. Well, I didn't know that it would be students taking care of it. I wasn't aware that you had young ladies in your company. The rest of you are younger than I expected too. Perhaps this request may be too dangerous for you after all.
Thank you for your concern. However, there is no need to worry. All of us here have combat experience already. Indeed, this all serves as part of my training too, so please allow us to undertake the request.
Well, if you insist. You'll come across the Plateau of Swords if you proceed beyond here. That's where the monster tends to appear. It truly is a ferocious one, so much so that passing by the area is impossible as it attacks everything it sees. Do take extra care when approaching it.
Right. Being careless with this one doesn't seem like an option. We'll have to be thoroughly prepared for it. Allow us to make our way there once our preparations are complete then. Yeah, let's give this everything we've got.
You'll come across a Plateau of Swords if you proceed beyond here. That's where the monster tends to appear. Do be careful, however.
Alright. Plateau. Yep. Just a little further. But before we... Actually, I am gonna... No, wrong button. I am gonna go into the next screen. And then we're going to end the episode. Relax and... Wait. No fishing spot? No, I don't see fishing spots. What's the only river? We didn't cross another bridge here. No, we didn't. Huh. Look at that. That seems like a good location for a big bad evil monster. But for the moment, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I'll see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, toodles!